Welcome to the Agent Success Podcast. My name's J.C Agajanian. This is Spencer Smock, and we have a special guest today. Vanda Martin is a real estate coach, a former huge producer, and an immigrant, someone who came from Brazil originally, came here, started a new life, kicked ass in real estate, and took it from, well, actually first maybe a stop at UCLA and some other things that took place, but welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining us. And let's just share a little bit about like how you got here, some of the story to go from growing up in Brazil and then to becoming a real estate agent. There's a lot that took place in between there before you ever started your coaching career. So let's bring them up to speed real quick.
Wonderful. First of all, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor and pleasure to be here. Spencer, JC, I congratulate you for doing this and providing value and helping the community. That we love, right? The industry that we love, real estate. Awesome. So hello, everyone. Super excited to be here. I am originally from Brazil. I came here, hard to believe, 35 years ago. And
she was about 1 year old.
35 years ago, just finished university in business in Brazil and came to this country with no money, $500 in my pocket, and a heart full of hope and hunger and desire, and a suitcase full of books and a desire to win. And I did, like you're saying, I did a lot of things. I just hustled like every immigrant. I was a babysitter, I was an au pair, I was a housekeeper. Later, got married, was a personal trainer. And fast forward a little bit, I'll tell you this, guys, I always love real estate. You guys do love it too, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I always loved real estate, and I was going to university, and at 19, 18 and a half, I used to take the bus, wait 20 minutes for the bus. The bus, it was 1 hour from where I lived to the university, and I used to look around and dream. Oh, that house, I could buy that house, and I could flip at a very young age. So it was really kind of a progression to go into real estate. So 1999, I went full-time in real estate. I live in Los Angeles, I live in San Francisco. At the time, I was in the Central Valley, and I went in real estate, and I loved it. I loved it. I had a lot of the struggles. I'll let you guys ask me about it. A lot of the struggles that led me to become a coach, to realize, holy smokes, I have to back up a little bit, guys. It's hard to believe, because I'm 5'3". You guys can see me on camera. I'm 5'3", but I was a basketball player.
Here in the States or when you were in Brazil?
I started playing basketball at the age of 13, and I'm a very driven and hungry girl, and I just dedicated myself, and I learned the sport, fell in love with the sport, and my coach is helping me. So I played basketball for a long time. So when I started real estate, I'll share right away.
Wait, did you play in college?
I played all the way to the beginning of college, and then I stopped because I actually opened my first business at 18 and a half.
So wait, you went to university in Brazil, and then you got another degree when you came here?
No, in UCLA, I went to specialization in business.
Oh, okay.
Good question. Yeah, so I graduated in Brazil at a young age. When I came here, after I got married and moved from San Francisco to Los Angeles.
Was San Francisco the first city you moved to?
First city, yeah. First city. Beautiful. And then I moved to Los Angeles. I got married, and I went to UCLA for specialization in business and management, and that's when I was able to live in Los Angeles. Again, always in love with real estate. And fast forward a little bit, we moved back to San Francisco, my husband and I, and later he got a job in the Central Valley. That's when the whole beautiful trip started.
I was going to ask you how you got to that part of the state.
Yeah, so he got a job.
Your husband got a job there?
He got a job, yeah. I had a 10-month-old baby. I moved to Stockton, Lodi, Manteca area. And,
Lodi.
Yeah.
That's where Mike's from.
Glamorous Lodi.
Yeah, I didn't get Stockton, Lodi. Actually, at the time, I was living in Stockton, of all the places. And,
even more glamorous.
Even a little less glamorous. But I got to tell you, great people, my friend.
I'm sure.
Warm people, very nice people. They welcomed us. And, I was there. And I realized after a while I was pregnant again. So I had 2 babies back to back. And when the kids were 3.5, 4.5 years old, I was ready to go back to work. And I told myself, Spencer, sometimes you got to go after your dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what? I'm going to sell real estate. I have tried some other business before. I said, I love real estate. Why not now? My English is better, much better. And I have more time, and I'm going to do this. So I actually started in 1999 with the 2 kids in a new city, new market. And
what kind of introduction, training, support did you get as a new agent in Stockton, I guess?
yeah,
Was where
Coldwell
it was?
Banker.
It was Coldwell Banker?
Such a great question. You see, I was playing basketball with the business people at the gym.
Okay.
I was working out at the gym because I always worked out as part of my lifestyle, and I miss it if I don't. So I was working out with these business people, and I got my license doing a course with someone else from the Prudential company, actually. And when I went to talk to him about, I got the license and I was going to go in real estate. I waited a little bit because the kids were still little. But then he told me he wanted me full-time. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready. So then I took a little break. I kept just getting myself ready. So that was actually when that was 1998. I didn't do much. And then 1999, I was working out with my friend who was a Coldwell Banker. And he said, oh, Vanda, we love your energy. You'd be great in real estate. I said, actually, I have a real estate license. Can you talk to your broker?
Oh, so you had gotten the license but never really hung it?
Yeah, I
and went
waited
to
a little
work.
bit because the kids were so little. And I was so busy. But then 1999, I said, give me an interview. I sell myself to the Coldwell Banker company.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, because they don't take new agents, only veterans.
Oh.
I said, he never talked to someone like me. I always been a little bit of a ultra confident, maybe because of sports.
Mm-hmm.
I always had a swagger because, you see, I believe I can do it, right? You probably like this, you, Spencer.
Yeah.
So he got an interview, and I sold myself to Coldwell Banker. And I said, look, I graduated in business. I'm a go-getter. I had run my business before as a personal trainer, as an import-and-export business at home where the kids were little. I had a bar in Brazil. I told him, I said, I'm going to win this. I'm going to make it happen. Hire me. So he said, you know what? Even though you're brand new, I like your energy. I like your hunger, your ambition, your mindset. They hired me. And there was not much of a training. But, being coachable, because it is a superpower. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Superpower. I knew I needed to learn, so I immediately bought 3-4 books, and I started reading. And so I started putting the time out, 3 open houses a week, dropping flyers, talking to people because I didn't know anybody. So I actually didn't do bad. My first year, I sold 32 homes.
32 homes as a rookie.
Yeah, which is just...
With virtually no training, just reading books, self-taught?
Yeah, I was selling out of energy, enthusiasm, and passion. But here's the key, guys, and I want all of you guys listening, please pay attention because this is key. I was selling homes, right? 32 homes first year, 62 homes second year. But guess what? I was miserable.
Oh.
Miserable. You know why? Because I was feeling guilty, anxiety, upset, because even though I was making money, but I was working 24/7.
Away from the kids.
Spencer,
brand new babies, right?
3.5, 4.5, 4 or 5 years old. I went 3 months without a day off, so I was killing myself. I was going home exhausted, even though I sold a home, but I had tears in my eyes of, exhausted. And then finally, working with buyers day and night, and then 3 months, and then they buy a home in an open house. So I realized one day, and I tell the stories on my YouTube channel and everywhere that one day I said, this is it. It can't be, it can't be this hard. Something is missing, and it hit me. J.C. hit me. I said, Vanda, you always had a coach. You always had a coach because you want to know the right strategies, the right approach, the best way to do it. I said, I need a coach. So at the time, 2.5 years in the business, selling 62 homes, and then I went to search for a coach. So I started studying, reading who was the best coaching, watching. Then I went to some programs. In 2001, I decided the coach that I wanted. And then I signed up in 2001. So again, selling 62 homes.
Was it a large coaching organization?
Oh, I say it. At the time, it was a Mike Ferry organization. Oh. Tom Ferry was the president.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was?
Yeah.
He hadn't started his own thing?
No, it's Tom Ferry. I've been around for a while, my friend. I've been around for a while.
You and me both.
Right? Like you guys. And so I signed up, and it was so funny because Matthew Ferry, who became a friend, Patrick Ferry became a friend, the whole family became friends. He was talking about, the process, right? And at the time, I was already a top producer, 62 units, right? But I had no life and everything. But I knew there was a better way. So I got my first coach, and everything I learned from him, I made it better. I realized, holy shit, can I say that?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
I said, holy shit, there's an order to this madness.
Yeah.
I'm selling out of energy, passion, enthusiasm, but there is structure that I can follow. There is systems, SOPs that I can put in place. So I started, oh my God, it was wonderful. I started putting together, tweaking everything I learned, making it better. And right away, here's the key. I went from 62 to 85 transactions, then to 115 transactions, just me and 2 assistants, a TC, and a TC per transaction only, and a full-time assistant. So I am doing 110, 108 transactions, just me and the team. But listen, Sunday by appointment.
That's crazy.
Sunday off. Saturday by appointment I became a leasing machine. I decided I wanted to, dominate the market. And then that's when I got so much business that I brought 2 agents to my team. So I got to appoint me, 2 other agents, 2.5 on the staff. We're doing over 130 transactions per year.
130 transactions.
130, yeah.
Wow.
But the key, Sunday off.
Yes.
More time with the family. I bought a home in Lake Tahoe. I used to go to Lake Tahoe once a month for the weekend. So I want to say this, and I know I'm talking a lot here, but I just want to tell to all of you that are listening, because a lot of people, Spencer and J.C., they say, oh, I don't want to sell a lot of agents. I don't want to sell a lot of homes because then I have no life. You heard that, right?
Absolutely.
Right? I have no life. And I tell them all the time, I said, my friends, I had more life, more quality time with my kids, more fun, more joy, more enjoyment when I was selling 18, 20 homes per month than when I was selling 2, 3 a month. Because when I was selling 2, 3 a month, I didn't have
the systems you weren't yet.
systems.
So let me ask, when you got your license, decided that cool broker, because that story of your first 3 years is reminding me of somebody that is going through that right now. He is finding massive success. He crushed. He did about 30 deals in his first 12 months. He did 50 his second year, which was last year, and he's on pace to do 70 or 80 this year, solo, by himself.
Awesome.
But he came over to my house the other day, and we were up till 2 a.m. talking about things that he was struggling with and how, I just bought this new house, but I'm still not happy. When you first got your license, did you think, 30 transactions, that's going to make me happy? Or were you already in the mindset of like that your personal life is what really makes you happy? The time with your kids? Because I think he's at the same crossroad of he feels as if he has this one goal of beating a certain person in transaction count. I'm like, dude, that's never going to make you happy. You don't care.
Yeah.
So did you have that mindset at first of
I love that.
Deals are going to make me happy, and then realize, no, it's not?
I love the question. Well, first of all, I can give a little bit of insights to help your friend. First of all, I'm competitive. I love winning. As a basketball player, as a former athlete, I grew up learning how to win. And plus, I understand that there's a process for everything. And if you follow the play like a basketball player, like a football player, you play the play, the win, right? So I immediately told myself, I'm going to be one of the best. I told myself, I'm going to be one of the best. And then being that
I feel like
mindset,
that's an area we could pause right there, because most people don't necessarily have an expectation as a new agent, let alone to be the best, like hopefully I don't go broke is what a lot of people are thinking, but that's a very different mindset that you started off with.
Yeah, and I love you saying that. And that's a great point. It's because some people are trained, conditioned to lose. Some people by life, environment, basketball coaches or friends, family, were conditioned also to believe themselves and win. So I knew that if I can learn to play basketball, because in the beginning, when I hold the basketball, I felt like I had 25 fingers. But after 6-7 months of practicing 3 hours a day, sometimes 5 hours a day before tournament, I could move the ball between my legs, behind my back. I was good to the left and right. So I realized if I put the time, the effort, the energy, and the focus, and learn the skills and really say, I can be one of the best, and why not? What a great goal. Now, of course, I was not because I was not prepared and understanding that needed system structure, my family suffered. And actually, they didn't suffer so much because, my husband was there helping, my mom lived with me. But I was suffering because I was guilty and anxiety.
Yeah.
So then I realized there was so much out of balance. So let's go back here to your friend, and I hope I can help him if he listens.
Yeah.
Yes, because the reality is, there's two kind of problems that I usually say: the first world problem and the third world problem. First world problem. Well, let's start with the third world problem. Oh, coach, I have no money, I have no business, I have no lead, I got nothing. Third world problem, right? They don't even know what to do. They don't have any idea, and no leads, no help. And then you have like a friend. He has first world problem. He got leads. He's a go-getter. He is probably coachable. He's following someone. He's emulating someone. He's learning, probably Kyle, someone in the company. So he got first world problem because he got leads, he got business, but he has no life, no quality of life, no time, because he needs different levels of skills and a different level of structure. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, and he's had those third world problems. It's a very similar story. He's from Guam, small island, from Tinian, actually. Immigrated here when he was 16 years old, joined the military, and then tried different businesses.
Came from nothing.
Yeah, truly came from nothing and really tried and did different businesses, Now he's here succeeding, but the numbers-wise succeeding, but the exact same.
That comes to you got to
not.
define what's success. What's success? And one of the things I say, guys, and I love you talking about that, in my coaching company, I have a very holistic approach. Okay? My birthday is in about 13 days, 12 days. So I've been around for a while. I have a 31 years old and a 32 years old son. I have two boys. And I'm an entrepreneur since 18. I opened my own first business. So I'm saying this just to create some credibility. I'm an entrepreneur for 43 years. I've been in sales 43 years. I'm telling you, this is important. You have to understand that to have the money and not have a life, that's misery.
Yeah.
That's me. So for my approach is like I want to rich and happy. Because having money and not being happy is failure.
Yeah.
So you gotta have the structure. So you have the time. So you have the energy. Like one of my clients right now, she just had 3 weeks off, but the business doesn't stop because she has the strategies in place, structure in place, the systems, SOPs in place, and the staff in place. So you can go away for 3 weeks, have a life, and the business is still growing because you have reached stability. And or maybe even mastery that you can now sell the business or replace yourself. Makes sense?
Yeah.
And even as, like this friend that we're talking about, single guy, now he's dating someone, but even if with someone with no responsibility and the ability to say, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to go all in and devote myself to this career, you still end up needing that personal time, even if you don't have a family and kids and all that. You got to get refreshed and refilled.
Yeah, because otherwise you burn out.
Yeah.
And you have no life. You start feeling, what's the point of having this money if I don't have a life? If I can enjoy myself. No, you gotta have the money, the freedom, and be healthy.
The only good thing about overworking yourself like that is if you're always making money and you don't have any time to spend it, you save it pretty well.
But how long can you do that? Right? So define success. Define success. For example, I specialize in massive breakthrough. So if you are brand new and you want to sell, like one of my clients, first year in the business, sold 18 homes, second year. Actually, let me say this. Second year in the business, first year full time. Last year, with all the confusion, all the high interest rates, she sold 24 homes.
That's great.
Right? In Boston. So brand new.
And in a competitive market, not just some random market.
Right. Like right now, I have many clients have the best year ever. Right now. One of my clients just got 2 listings over the weekend. So, another one, she actually got 7 listings in the last month. So my point is, but you have to put the structure in place so it can help you. So define what you want. So when they come to me and they want a massive breakthrough, Spencer, I ask you, define your breakthrough. Because for some might be more money, more sales units, because I have one client that said, I just want to be number one in my office. He's a single guy. He's already pushing 500,000. Okay, he's on track for 700. He said, I want to be number one. I said, good for you. That's one of my goals because I love it, because you can.
Yeah.
Now, someone say, like another client might say, hey, coach, I'm already doing $900,000 in GCI. I'm over 10 years in the business, I'm successful. But I want to double my income, and I want to have some more time off, like Maynard. He came to me over 10 years in the business, a little bit over 10 years, smart guy, financing, amazing. Several coaches. He had several coaches before, but he was always 950, 980, maybe $1 million. Never passed that. So got a plateau, right?
Yeah.
Didn't know what to do next. So he came to me, he said, is it possible for me to grow my business and double but have more time off? I said, everything is possible with the right mindset, right skills, right approach, and the right structure. And so we reorganized his team. We let everybody go, kept one person. I helped him to upgrade his thinking so he could think bigger. He could really double his business, even at $1 million GCI mark.
Yeah.
And put the strategy in place. So he went from, in 1 year, to 1 million to 2.2 million in gross commission. Here's the kicker. 1.5 months off that year. Next year, he said to me, I want to sell the same amount of homes, coach. I want to sell just 35 homes. I want to keep my team growing. Can you coach my team? I want to take 3 months off. I said, I got it. Guys, he took 3.5 months off that year. He went for 50 days to the Caribbean, disconnected.
He did it all at once.
50 days disconnected once, and throughout the year, several vacations. I coached the team. The team still did just about $2 million, and he sold the same amount of home. Not only this, he felt better. He grew his business. He had more time off.
And got a great tan
a
for
great
50
tan.
days. In the
Oh, it gets better. You want to hear the best thing? Because with skills and knowledge, you get more confidence.
Yeah.
With structure, you get more confidence. His average commission check went from $15,000 to $32,000. He got one listing for $6 million. Everything went breakthrough. So that's the kind of thing, it's all possible.
Yeah, so something you just said was talking about elevating his thinking, and I'm almost finished reading your book. And one of the things that you mentioned is taking that goal that you always ask people, okay, well, what's your goal? What do you want to do? And they say, for example, 500,000. You're like, okay, that's all fine and well, 500,000. What's that going to do for you? And you get them focusing on not just the goal of X amount of GCI, but opening up the vision of like, hey, this is what it's going to do for you. You're going to have time off with your kids. So talk a little bit more about why it's almost more important to know what that's going to do for you rather than what it is.
Oh, I love the question. I learned, yesterday I had another podcast yesterday. I was interviewed by a superstar, Angel Gordon. That please don't miss it when it comes out. She interviewed me yesterday out of San Francisco, and we were talking about that. And I have to say, many people are looking for motivation. Motivation is an outside thing.
External.
People waiting for motivation. When I have this, I'll be motivated. I'll do that. When I have the team, when my broker do this. But motivation is actually not come from the outside. It comes from inside. You have to stoke the fire. Mm-hmm. You have to ignite the flame every day. And we, the sport people, we kind of already have a little bit of an advantage because we know that we can put the body in motion, stuff coming in. The reason the why is important, because the why is your compelling vision, is your desire. The what, I want to earn 500,000 is my what. Why I want to earn 500,000, what I'm going to do, the reasons I want because I'm going to buy a house for my mom. I'm sick and tired of my mom rent, or I'm going to have the life that I want. So it's the why that's the reason that will inspire you, that will fill you up to do what it takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I learned and I was talking about the reason I mentioned the podcast, because she said to me yesterday, Vanda, you've been my coach for 8.5 years. You're so amazing. I'm so inspired. You're unbelievable. I said, darling, I have been doing what I'm doing, but I've been standing on the shoulders of many amazing coaches. Amazing. I learned from many people, including what I'm going to share here with you, that I learned from Tony Robbins. I read many of his books, saw him live. And Tony said this, and it's true, he learned with Jim Rohn, who I also follow, and read every book you can imagine. I saw Jim Rohn. Yeah, I saw Jim Rohn live. And they say, and this go right to the heart of the matter, Reasons comes first. If you have enough reason, if your dream is very big and your pain is very big, you buy, you sell, you move, you jump, you follow through. So reason, when your why is really big, so when I'm talking people, they come to me, Coach, would you help me? I need this, or I need more time, or I need more money, or I'm not moving ahead. I always say, I go where they are so I can know how they think, how is the mindset, what is the paradigms that's stopping them, what's the story, the BS is running the story, what they're saying. I am where they are, and then after I find out everything, and I know I can help anybody. I'm not being cocky here, but I know because I've been there and I coach people in every way possible. But I always ask, why do you want that? Who do you want to make proud? You know, tell me about your family. Tell me about your kids. Tell me why you want to have the money. Because I want to have the money.
What's it going to do for you?
No, you guys are not do. Now, tell me your cause, your fight, your dream. So you want to be obsessed about the actions to get the goal, not about the goal itself. Looking at the goal and saying, oh my God, 18 homes a day or 10 homes a day. A month. I'm behind. You never do. But if you look at your dream board, if you remind yourself every day, why are you doing that? Pain or dream, or maybe both, you know, the rewards or getting away from the pain. You
Pushed
do it.
by
Make
pain or
sense?
pulled by vision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the why. The why is what moves you. You got to ignite the why all day. And it's very specific. No, this is what I want. This is what I want. Specifically, clear. This is why I want. Okay, my personal vision, my business vision, why I want it. Now let's put a plan together. See, all the top producers, all of you guys starting over, starting new, or brand new, or even the top producers are ready to be, you gotta always know exactly what you want, why you want it, and then the plan, and then follow the plan. And who's going to help you?
Execution is a huge piece
it's
too,
everything, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it exciting? Don't you love this stuff?
Yeah.
I know. I've gotten because I've had multiple real estate coaches in my career as well, and having close proximity to Kyle has been almost like having another coach.
Oh.
But it's really ingrained in me an interest and a true curiosity about business in general, the sales cycle, you know, mechanics like you're talking about, systems, standard operating procedures.
Mm-hmm.
It seems really boring to a lot of people, but like I love digging into that stuff. I've talked to friends who do completely different businesses, and I'm like, well, shoot, I know this about real estate. You could apply this to this, and it just comes naturally in conversation. It's very interesting. So.
I love it. So, well, Kyle is a coach.
Yeah.
The moment you have a team, you're coaching, you're guiding them, you're igniting them, you're motivating them. So, a motivation it has to be from inside, but you can ignite the inspiration, and you can also keep them engaged, right? And of course, you have great coaches. That's awesome. Proximity is so powerful.
Absolutely.
Right? And now, one of the things that I'm very proud that everyone that comes to my programs learn is they start falling in love with the numbers.
Don't fall in love with
They
the numbers.
start falling in love with the numbers.
Oh, they start to.
Yeah, because one of the things you guys know, because you guys been with Kyle and you have a business mind, most agents, when they go in real estate, most agents, they still have an employee mindset, not an employer.
True.
They never been entrepreneur, so they don't understand that you got to look at the business as a business. One of the questions people ask me all the time, what are some of the mistakes real estate agents commit to do it? I actually did a video today for YouTube when I was talking about the 3 common mistakes real estate agents commit. And one of them is they, besides not consistently doing what moves the needle, besides that,
prospecting.
Yeah, specifically lead generation, follow up. We all know that. Yeah. Every day you got to feed Mr. Mo, baby. Yeah. You got to feed Mr. Mo. That's Mr. Momentum. Every day you set appointments, have conversation. The other one that is major, they don't treat this business as a business. They treat it as a hobby. And the day I realized this, so again, one of the things what I was not doing in the beginning, I was not tracking, measuring progress, not tracking, measuring my numbers. I was just selling out of energy, passion, enthusiasm. You can tell I have a lot of passion, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And energy.
A lot.
Yeah. But then I realized, holy shit, there's an order to this. So I realized I start tracking my conversation. I start tracking my leads. the days of work, and then my
And
progression.
these are all things you just figured out by reading.
No. By then I had a coach.
Oh, okay.
And then we were tracking. I was reporting. Oh my
Right.
God, the power coach is amazing, right? Accountability.
Yeah.
I have 2 coaches right now.
Do you?
I have never stopped coaching since 2001. I have a business coach. I have a speaking coach. Oh yeah. For a while I had a voice coach, one of the best in the world. So yeah. So I realized, holy smokes, when I stopped tracking my numbers and tracking progress, and I realized there's a ratio just like basketball.
Yeah.
And there's 2 ratio we pay attention in real estate. Your ratio of conversation to appointments, how many conversations you have, and once you have the conversation, how many you generate into appointment. That's one ratio of conversion, conversation to appointment. And then appointment to signature. I actually put together online course on that called the conversion code, where I teach exactly how to go to conversation to appointments. And then once you win appointment, you convert those appointments. And that when you track your numbers, you can see your conversion ratio. And then as I start tracking my numbers, guys, I realized I used to take 25 conversations to set one appointment. Different level of skills, 25 conversations to one appointment. And then 5 appointments to one signature. Conversion appointment to signature, another ratio. Then as I improved my skills by role playing with my coach, role playing with my team, and intentionally role playing, getting better, I got to a point, Spencer, that I talked to 10 to 11 people. I set one appointment. And then every 3 appointments, I sold a home. I was selling a home every other day. So again, now you're predictable. If you have enough conversations and you know your ratio, you just keep saying, oh, I'm getting close to the appointment. And then you get the appointment, you get the signature. So now I fell in love with the numbers. That's what I teach my clients. They realize, because they come to me, they don't track anything. There's no report, no. And then after a while with me in coaching and the group and one-on-one, they start loving that. Loving life because they see progress. They start seeing the ratio. It's so super cool.
Which I think it's really hard for some people. They don't notice that. So you can have success without tracking those numbers. Like one of our friends that we were talking about earlier. He doesn't necessarily know what's going on in his business. He's doing wonderful. And actually, I think it shows in Kyle as well with Chris. So our COO, second in charge here, he is in love with numbers. He is.
I love it, yeah.
I've never seen someone more in-depth and knows. At any moment, you could ask him what our conversion rate is from appointment set to met to close. And he had just joined maybe a year prior from when I came to Whissel. And knowing that he has implemented all of those tactics of like tracking every single number, we've exploded since then. The team has grown 5x since I started just 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been incredible. So your coach was the one that pointed out you weren't tracking your numbers, or was it something you found yourself?
Well, I was not doing it. So once I realized I didn't have SOPs, I didn't have systems, and I was not tracking the numbers, I was fortunate to have great coaches. You know, most of them now retired. And then I realized, because I graduated in business, and I also had business. When I had my bar and restaurant, I used to count how many beers I sold, how many cases of beer I sold on a Friday night, and how many long neck beers were there, so I could foresee my revenue and the inventory. So I already had an advantage. Now most agents, they are expressive and a disc personality, so they are artists. They're not operator. But I gotta tell you here right away, if you want to listen to me, we have a beautiful thing in our brain called neuroplasticity. We all can learn. No one, when they come to me, Spencer, when they say, I'm not a numbers person, coach, I said, hey, can you count to 10? Yeah. Can you see how much money you have in the bank? I said, darling, you're a numbers person. You haven't fallen in love with the numbers because nobody taught you that numbers are diamonds. It will make you rich. Business is marketing, innovation, and numbers. We love our clients, but if you don't know your numbers, you have a hobby. You don't have a business. And when I teach them the process and they start falling in love, oh, it's so wonderful. If you see some of the reports of my clients, like Shalaya Shipman, she's having the best year ever. Last year was the best year ever, and she's in the business for a while. And she sells homes in San Francisco and Los Angeles. She's kicking ass. She sends me the report. You see, here's my wins, numbers. Here is my ratios. Here is my my forecast for the year. Here is where I am, because I give them the report to send it to me. And she is kicking ass and she's loving it. In the market, what many people are complaining, all this chaos, we know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all this confusion, lawsuit and NAR, and agents being negative, she just got married. She just came from the honeymoon. She had her birthday, 40 birthday, and she's kicking ass. Why? Because she has the energy and the love for the business, but she understands that you got to look at this business as a business, and you have to be a business person and learn. You just learn the process.
Yeah.
So true, right?
And something tells me you don't have to track her down to get those numbers. She's coming ready.
No, yeah. In the beginning, I trained them. So they all trained and conditioned. I give an example. And I'm not going to say names. You guys can guess. So I was coaching for a big company for 8.5 years. And everybody that came to me, I helped them with the mindset. I help them with the skill structure, and one of the structure is track your numbers, track progress, and improve the diamonds. I always call fun names. Why? To get them excited. So I call momentum, doing the money routine, money time, or freedom time. Money, I call Mula, Mrs. Mula. Momentum is Mr. Moore. And numbers are diamonds. Because who doesn't like diamonds?
Nobody.
Right? So I changed the semantics just to make it fun so they also understand, right? So when they came to me, very quickly they start growing, and like Rob DePaoli, you can Google him. Rob DePaoli came to me at 26 years old, earning $59,000, selling about 7 homes per year, $59,000. Every year he doubled his business. Last year, actually, I still coach him for 8 years. Last year he did $1.5 million in gross commission. He's the number 1 agent in California for all companies under 34 years old.
Wow.
So anyways, but the point is, he came to me, like all of them, they didn't attract the numbers. They didn't like the numbers. I start helping them. So I coached for this company, and then we went separate ways. So I had to say goodbye to my clients. And some of them would miss 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and they're growing immensely. Of course, imagine if your coach leaves, and you have, a non-compete, so they can't go with you. You have a non-compete for a while. They had to stay. Now, remember, every week, they were all at mastery level, team training, coaching training. Every week, they brought a report to me. The wins, the numbers, the questions. We went business. We talk mindset. I lift them up. I encourage them, but also business. They loved, right? I leave. They all get different coaches. Many coaches don't do what I do, don't go deep and beautifully on the numbers, on the progress, on the wins. They all felt, I had so many of them text me, Coach, my coach only talks about mindset. We never see the numbers. Well, I don't know. And they were all in love with the numbers. And people thought, some of the coaches thought they don't like numbers. All my 39 clients love the report, the numbers, and they're all kicking ass, growing, being millionaires already. So I just show you how you can condition yourself to learn the new skills and actually fall in love, and it'll help you.
And I bet you saw a trend of when you first started with that client as their coach. Hey, bring me your numbers. They probably looked scary at the first, and then as their income progressed, I bet their conversion rates just happened to progress.
And they
it was
see
like,
it and
hey,
love it.
I can see it. Oh, this is why my money is going up. I'm getting better.
Yeah.
It's not just I have more leads. You might have more leads, but you're converting them better.
Yeah. And then you see what works or doesn't work. I teach them, here's the SOP. And I teach a lot of concepts. For example, everything you do more than once, you have an SOP.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, J.C., in my team, here is the script, how you answer the phone. Here is how you take message. When you get a listing, everything you do, step by step. When you get a lead, this is what you do, and this we have to know. Yeah. Everything on my team that was never winging it, never by heart or memory. Everything is step by step, just like a Jedi Special Force Marine. And they love it because it takes the stress away. It takes the guessing away. My team knew exactly what to do. I had coached them, training them. And it starts here. Mm-hmm. If they don't believe it's possible, they don't even do it. They don't even engage. And if without engagement, there's no commitment. Without commitment, there's no action. So you have to help them with the mindset first. You have to help them to believe. And many of them don't believe in themselves.
That is worth it and valuable to do these things. Exactly. Yeah.
So they believe in us. And I tell them, I said, don't worry. I'll do the work for you. Of course, I don't worry because I know what to do.
I'll do it for you.
I do the work for you. Don't worry. And I said, even if you don't believe in yourself right now, can you just believe in us? Can you just believe in me? Can you trust me? I said, I made more millionaires than most coaches you can ever imagine. And I became a millionaire. If I can do it, you can do it. Can you do that? Okay, coach. So that's so huge because if they believe, they will engage. If they engage, they commit. If they commit, they take action. But you got to hold them accountable. You got to be there.
I like what you said about standard operating procedures and having everything systemized. One thing I've learned just from doing this is that it's not enough just to have them. Like a pilot getting ready to take off, you have to break it out and literally check everyone off, because if you're doing it from memory or if you don't have some system that you're literally doing, things will get skipped or forgotten or fall through the cracks. And then there's one piece, like you got most of it, but there's stuff that's missing. So you have to go through every time and make sure that you're checking every box for whatever system or process.
What you're saying is so huge. It's so important. You know why? It's because people get used to it. They get complacent and they say, I got it. I don't have to do it anymore.
Right.
So that's the big thing that we have to teach the team, the staff, even the agents. This is everything I do when I'm going to write an offer. This is everything I do when I'm going to release a flyer or send an email. What happened is they think after a while, I know by heart. So I told my team, and every week in the meeting, every week when I met my whole team, we always say, nothing is done by heart or memory. You got a new listing? They open the system. You got a new lead coming out, you're going to do open house, what is the system? And you just go, check, check. Like you said, check. Because the moment you think you're going to do by heart, that's when you drop the ball, you make a mistake. And who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something, honestly, that I am very much still learning. I get hyper fixated on building the checklist, doing the checklist, and then once I'm not excited about it anymore, it's very tough for me to open that checklist and do it. So it's something that he's been drilling in me for a while, and I'm getting there, but not quite. And I can't wait to see the success when I'm like, hey, no, every time I get the checklist out, every time.
Now, can I help with something?
Yeah.
Darling, what makes you an amazing salesperson, it makes you an horrible operator. You are expressive. You want to be talking to people, doing your magic. That's what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, listen, for me, like all my programs, no one has to invent the wheel. I give them everything. Here's what you do for your database. Bam, bam, bam. This is what you do social media. All the system, what to do, how to do it, when to do it, what not to do it. I save them time, energy. So I give them a system of all the lead sources you can imagine. I give them the framework for every listing presentation successful, every buyer presentation. I teach them everything they're supposed to do, every checklist system. But what happened is, you got to use the best use of your time. So even if someone is the operator and loves to do the checklist, he still got to go out there and talk to people, because real estate is what? A conversation. Mm-hmm. And if you're not talking to people, someone should be doing talking for you, because otherwise you're not going to build a business. So for you, darling, 80% of your day is talking to people, networking, doing lead generation, follow-up. Have a virtual assistant to organize the checklist for you. Get even a junior agent who's going to be launching your listing, so listing coordinator / assistant, and run the business for you, and you go just do your thing. Yeah. That's what you want to do, because it's not your trait. Now, I have a client, for example, she's a driver analytical. She loves doing that. So have a tendency already to do it. You got to retrain your brain. So don't work on your weakness, work on your strengths. Delegate everything, outsource, get a VAs for $7, $5, $8, get a boot on the ground, trade your training, and have someone to do it for you, and go network.
Yeah.
Go door knock, right?
Which I know to be true. The hardest thing for me is I have this tendency to say, oh, no, I can figure it out myself. I can do it myself. And so a book that's on my list to read that he's been telling me is Who, Not How. Because I have a tendency to be like, no, I can figure that out. I can do it myself. I don't need somebody to teach me how to do that. I don't need somebody to run that for me. And I tried to do the virtual assistant. And when we parted ways with that virtual assistant, at first I was like, it's him. He didn't do this right. And then I had to sit down one day and be like, no, it was me. I didn't let it go. I didn't give it to him to say, hey, just do this. This is your role. So I'm excited in the next coming months to really hone in and with some changes in our business and how we're doing things, I think that hopefully is going to explode and show.
I know. So, Spencer, are you single?
Committed relationship.
Committed relationship, but no kids yet?
No kids.
Okay. And the thing is, sometimes you feel like we have more time, I can learn, I'm smart, right? But darling, if you coach them, whoever comes to your business, It doesn't matter if they experience or not experience. Whoever comes to your business, you coach and train them for a month and a half. You show you your way. This is how I do it. You show them your way, your standards, your value, and then you release them, you trust them that they're going to do well. You hold them accountable in a nice way with elegance and grace and positive, constructive accountability. In every way, every week, they know what they're supposed to do. They know exactly the framework, they know exactly the job description, and if they follow through, now you can release, and you don't have to be the assistant. You don't have to be the assistant because you don't trust them, but you got to teach them how to do it. Can I give you guys an example?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, I coached this guy, Devin Tryon, in Hawaii for many, many years. Amazing guy. And I also helped him to go from $59,000 a year in gross commission to just about $1 million, build a mega team and sell a lot of homes. But in the beginning, when I was coaching him we started building the team, he said, Coach, I'm 26 years old. I don't even know how to lead, how to have, be a boss. I said, first of all, darling, we don't want to be a boss. Okay, we don't want to be a boss. We don't want to be a manager. We want to be a leader. Mm-hmm. Boss pushes and intimidates people. A leader guides them and pull them in. And you don't manage people. You manage paperwork. We lead people. I said, I'm going to teach you the way to teach. Anyone that comes to you, you show them how you do it, and you show them everybody has a schedule, everybody has coachability, everybody's trained, everybody follows the team, the culture, and then you teach this. This is how you teach. Ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, for example, you're going to teach your virtual assistant how to put a listing on MLS. You tell her on Zoom together, or even in person if she's boots on the ground, if she's real. You say to her, look at this, Mary. I want you to watch. Don't take notes yet. Just watch. I'm going to put this listing in MLS. And then you show her, you do it. You show her how to do it. She's watching. Okay, after she watches, you say, okay, Mary, now we're going to do it together. And I want you to stop, take notes, and ask me a question. We're going to do it together. So now let's put the listing, the same listing, on the MLS together. She's doing it with you. You guys doing it together. She's asking questions. She take notes. You got Mary? Awesome. You ask her the question. Now, Mary, sit here. Now you're going to do all by yourself. That's how you start teaching them. You let them see it first, internalize a little more, right? Visualize. Then you do it together. And then you open for questions. They take notes. You also give them a cheat sheet list. Did I say right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes my English goes sideways.
Cheat sheet, yeah.
And then you let them do it. So he goes, holy smokes, Coach, this is so easy. And he started getting better. I said, so I have coached people 22 years old and people 40 years in the business. Again, there's always a strategy. There's always a way. Isn't it exciting? I mean, don't you love real estate?
We have a phenomenal example of that, too, with the way Kyle brings in agents to the company, because whether they are brand new licensees or they've been coming to the company from somewhere else, there's a way that we do things that is not necessarily the way everyone does things. So
true.
So it's the same thing that you're talking about. There is a 2 weeks training session, and a lot of agents that are experienced, they're like, do I have to really sit through this thing? And it's like, we're not teaching you how to write an offer.
Yeah.
I mean, for those that need it, that's included, but we're teaching you how to do things quicker, how to standardize things, how to have systems.
How we do things.
How we do it.
The Whissel way.
Yeah, exactly. So
Exactly.
It's exactly what you were just explaining.
Yeah, and it's true. And my team, I don't care if, I have coached people who came to me 30 years in the business already, doing already 1.2 million, 1.5 million. They want to go to $2 million, $3 million, right? I coach Tyler Whitman, from the very beginning, and at one point he was doing $300 million in volume. I coached the guy, Kyle Blackman, out of New York, number 20 in the world. I took him from 180 million to 250 million. In a small team, just him and 2 employees. But, his average listing, $33 million. So I helped him. In his case, Manhattan. In his case, it was not more money. He wanted to have more peace of mind because he had a lot of listings sitting. And he was doing a lot of luxury. And his mindset, and he didn't want any other coaching. He was disappointed with coaching because nobody was moving him ahead. I said, you come to me, I'll help you. Mm-hmm. And I said, look, we got to change your mindset. We got to have a mindset shift. You think because they're billionaires, money is not important. I said, no. You have to understand that they are billionaires because they know how to earn money and they know the value of money, time, and energy. You just have to know how to get those price adjustments So the house will sell and they'll be happy. Right away, I said, yeah, and this is my fee and I'm worth it. So he hired me. Right away, he got 3 price adjustment. He was almost having panic attack because, you can have listings and go broke.
Yeah.
So the homes were not selling because they were overpriced and he didn't know how to price them well in the beginning because he was really nice to the clients. And also he didn't know how to adjust the price properly.
And that's on top of
fast enough.
super luxury has longer market times anyway. So
Yeah.
it's probably already a significantly longer sales cycle than a lot of people in the entry level or
Yeah.
even moderately, luxury markets. But something like that.
Yeah, it's important. Right now, with this market going on, with all the changes with the buyers and the law and the contracts, I'm telling my clients, hey, master the new skills. I've been
Yep.
teaching buyer's agreement. My clients right here in San Diego, they've been having buyer's agreement since 2013. And selling many in Florida, all my clients. So they've been doing the buyer's agreement for a long time. Now is to build the value. It's our value basis now. Build your value, build your personal value so you can command the
Your
fee.
fee, yeah.
Yeah, with credibility and authority. So we teach all that. And you were talking about skills. We teach mindset skills, like how to become more focused, more consistent, have more resilience, the ability to bounce back from rejection in a bad day, and more persistent, keep going no matter shit's going on, hit the fan. So we teach all the mindset skills. And of course, also release the paradigm. Oh, I'm too old. Oh, I'm too young. Oh, you know what? I'm new. Nobody's never going to sell a $3 million home with me. This is how stories you've been telling yourself. So we do all the mindset skills. And then we teach business skills, how to track the numbers, how to recruit, how to train, how to look at P&L, how to do the standard stuff, and of course also the sales skills, how to lead generate, how to lead follow-up, how to pre-qualify, present, listen presentation, right presentation, negotiate, handle objection, close, and I love that.
Yeah.
So we teach all the skills, we teach everything, and then they realize, oh my God, there is an order to the madness. Right?
I love hearing you run through all that because obviously that's comprehensively what every agent needs. But I was just thinking, like, gosh, if non-agents are stumbling across this podcast somehow and they're hearing that, they probably minds are blown realizing how much is involved in becoming a real estate agent.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But it's possible. So I always say, I know I give a lot, and I know it can be overwhelming. We're already overwhelming with the changes, with the contract, with the new rules, with inflation, with the new technology. But the thing is, if you keep working on your energy, regulating your energy and emotions, and you keep follow the plan. You fall off the plan, you come back on the horse. You fall off the horse, and you have someone like me showing the easy way, saving your time, helping you to know not only what to do, but how to do it. You do this. Oh, don't do that. Doesn't work. Try this, and encouraging you, pushing you. You do it. I mean, you do it. The thing is, they don't believe and they don't stick long enough. Many of them have no plan. They're going to fail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Failing to plan is
Planning
to fail. And then some of them have the plan, but they don't follow through. They're too artistic, they're bored. Oh, you got to stick to the damn plan. And so you need accountability. You need a tribe. You guys are very fortunate to have this amazing company.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But you're also doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Spencer?
Yeah.
Right?
It's easy to get bored with sticking to the plan and to not think of it as exciting or even realize in the moment that that's what's going to get you to the exciting stuff.
Yeah. And you know why? There's something called for that. It's called repetition boredom.
Okay.
So repetition boredom, it happens many times after you go after the momentum phase in business, when you reach stabilization. Well, it can happen anytime, especially if the people don't have a lot of discipline. They don't have self-discipline, and they get also highly expressive. They get bored with everything. My sister was like this, and many real estate agents like this. They get bored very fast. It's part of their personality style, right? They're highly expressive.
Yeah.
You have the weakness and the strength. You can look at the disc. It's so amazing. I'm not boxing people, but we have traits. You know that, right? I'm actually extremely expressive.
Mm-hmm.
Casually. You can tell by my blings, makeup, right? My car is a sport car, red seats. So you can tell by so expressive, casually. By under stress in business environment, I'm a driver. Tell me what to do. Give me 5 reasons why I'm gonna do this, why it's good for me. I'm fucking doing it.
Yeah.
See, I follow direction. I know what to say. So when I coach, I make sure I'm not only instructing, because I don't want to be a trainer. I want to be a coach. I teach you how to think, but I have to be careful. But many agents, they get really bored fast. So it's nice to have the support.
And I feel like just from talking to you, you're probably very high I and I'm very high D, right?
That's what
On
I
the
am.
disc
High
profile.
I, high D.
Okay, so that's, I feel like, the perfect storm of a personality to be in this business. Most agents are high I's, but a lot of them will have a high C or a high S to back that up. And not having that driver kick in is something that you kind of have to like be aware of and address and realize, oh, I naturally fall into this pattern in X scenario or whatever.
I feel like you're calling me out.
I'm kind of calling myself out.
Have you done the disc too, Spencer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm massive I, very, very little D. I don't drive. I get so bored so quick. I want endorphins now. Let me learn it. As soon as I learn it, I don't care anymore. It's spitting image of what you're talking about.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But darling, you can adjust and adapt.
Yeah.
And you be I, like I am I, when I'm driving on vacation, fun, I do what I like. But in the business, I do what it works. Because I don't like pain. One thing, can I share here my mission?
Yeah, of course.
I have a mission. And the mission is the hustling, they work, the hustling, the
grind?
Not the grind. The pain is part of the process.
Oh.
The grind is, in my view, the grind, to say I have to grind, for me is ridiculous. Because grinding for me is suffering. So the way I see is, the pain is part of the process. You have growing pains, you have to hustle, you have to look for the business, you have some great stress, sometimes bad stress. So the pain is part of the process. You're growing, you have growing pains, you're implementing new things. But if you are grinding, if you are suffering, you are doing the wrong strategies, maybe the right strategy at the wrong time, or maybe the wrong strategy at the wrong time, and you don't have the system structure in place. Because again, like I'm a proven example, and many of my clients, that you can sell high level in any market, buyer's market, neutral market, seller's market, during COVID, 9/11 like I did, at the meltdown of the mortgage company in 2006, 2007, you can sell homes in any level and still have a life if you have the proper mindset, the right approach, with the right skills, systems, instruction in place. So if someone's saying, I'm grinding, I'm up and down, I'm like, darling, we need to talk. Because you're not doing the proper way. Because this is how it goes. And I want you guys to pay attention if you were looking at me. The life of a top producer, superstar like me, and I'll say it to you, I have credibility to say, because my best week, and I say it with love, not to brag. I say it with love because I want you to believe. My best week, I sold 12 homes. My best month, I listed 29 homes. And at one point in my career, I had 55 active listings and 32 open contracts.
Wow.
And not as a huge team. You didn't have 100 agents under you.
No, five people, pretty much, 5.5. And at one point, by myself, I sold 108 homes. But I had the staff and the team in place. One TC, one full-time assistant. I did my marketing with a help of my company. And a part-time person was actually a runner who just helped me here and there.
Yeah.
And I was able to do 108. I don't recommend, because I wanted to have a better life. Yeah, I want to have a better life. And but my point is, you can do that. You can do that. So you have to believe, and you have to put the structure in place. And right now, without this drama, this confusion, you gotta just learn who you are. So, for example, you know your weakness, but maximize, optimize your strengths. So for example, my CEO, you know who runs my company? You talk to him. Mm-hmm. My son, Yvon.
Oh, it's your son. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was your son or your husband.
My son. He's just turned 31. So he's a Special Force Marine. He speaks 5 languages well. He's Intel. So for the Marine, he was like the computer Intel person. He runs the show. So I am not highly high tech. I'm a people person.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I can follow structure. I'm a D2. I moves and shaker. But I don't do the little things. He does a lot of things. He runs the show. He's like, bam.
He's your operator.
He's my operator. Of course, he has so much versatility because he grew up with a queen of residential real estate. His dad is a king of commercial. His dad has been doing commercial for 40 years. So
You're-
he grew up in
Oh.
the business.
And is that the job that took you guys to Central Cal when he was doing
Yeah,
commercials?
yeah. He was doing commercial, and he still does commercial.
Wow.
He's still there, by the way. He's still doing commercial there. So my son grew up in real estate and grew up listening to Earl Nightingale, Jim Rohn, doing affirmation 3, 4, 5 years old, both of them. So he grew up in the business, listened to Zig Ziglar. I used to pay him to read books, even though they always love books, but I incentivize everything. There's always a better way, right? But my point is, I don't do what I don't. I'm not sending, the email goes out to my whole database. Everything I do as a coach, as I did as a real estate agent, as an entrepreneur, I do as a coach as well. I do exactly what I preach. I prospect. I do Facebook ads. I do networking. I build notion of my database. Exactly what we did with real estate, we do as a coaching company. So my people get my emails, my love, my value, nurturing, but I'm not the one sending the emails every week.
So you're the visionary of the company, the face of the company, and he's the integrator. Make sure it happen. Hey, this is my vision. This is what I want to do. Here, make it happen for me. Help me get this done. And that's just his strong suit and your strong suit.
Yeah, we meet twice a week. We go over the numbers, the goals. We go over what's working, not working every week. The new hired, new fired. He knows exactly what we're going to hire. Anyone who we hire, we coach together for a month. We do exactly what we're talking about here.
So I just had a revelation a few minutes ago when you were talking about grinding, because I get into these moments where I'm like, no, Spencer, you have to grind this out. You have to do it like. And when you were talking about that, and you're like, no, grinding isn't the right way. I was just thinking about like when the transmission in your car is grinding. It's not just like, oh yeah, that's what it has to do to get where it's going. No, you get it fixed. You don't want to grind, and so
it's flowing, right? The car should be moving.
It shouldn't be
smoothly.
grinding. Yeah. So I love that you mind shift. Just right now, I had a mind shift change of no, grinding isn't what you need to do. Yeah, you have to have some pain.
Hustling.
But
A little hustling is
it's not
good.
grinding.
Looking for the next deal, following up, fanatic follow-up, hustling. You are, growing pain is normal. A little pain here is there, it builds resilience, it builds strength. But just thinking
But if
about
you're miserable,
horrible.
then that's grinding.
Yeah, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I was talking about the superstar top producers like me, right? So here's the life of a superstar top producer in real estate. Little dips. They have a bad day. In the morning, like three deals fall apart. Like I had morning, 3 deals fall apart. But then again, you have a lot of deals coming in because you top star, you're working on it consistently. So you have bad days. So you have little dips. But look where you're going. Where you're
Trending
going?
up.
You're going up. You have bad days, bad moment, something happened, you had bad days, but you adjust fast, you pivot fast, you anticipate, you adjust and adapt, you go back in the plane, here's the life of a low producer, average to mediocre. Horrible ups and downs, roller coaster. And where are they going? They're going down. Because they are reacting to the market, reacting to the drama, reacting to social media, reacting to the notch change. And there's no structure, there's no predictability, there's no track and measure. The mindset is emotions. I'm happy, I'm unhappy. Client happy, I'm happy. Clients are happy, I'm fucking unhappy. Deal fall apart, sold 2 homes, yeah. Stop working and babysit the deals. And then the deals close, I have no money. So it's famine, abundance famine.
Yeah.
High emotion. That's exhausting. So it's roller coaster exhausted. By 2 o'clock, they're like this. So again, that's the life of the low producers.
You know that you can relate to what she's talking about right now.
But it doesn't have to be this way. And of course, it's hard to believe because the idea out there is, you see those memes? Here's the day of the real estate and all the faces. Now, I understand. Let's have sense of humor. I'm a fun person too. I laugh a lot. I make my clients laugh all the time. It can be funny, some of the memes, but let's be honest, that you don't have control of your emotion. Your whole day is reflection of someone else's schedule. Your whole day, if the client's happy, you're happy. Your clients are happy, you're happy. That's exhausting. Yeah. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I didn't share this with you, but when I first got into the business, I was doing mortgage work, and it was kind of the epitome of that. I would get so worked up if, the underwriter didn't give me the condition list that I wanted for my buyer or whatever the case, and it was the same thing.
Up and down, right?
Yeah, and a lot of it is just, I think, time doing it to realize, okay, you don't need to freak out every time something doesn't go right, like just mellow. And I also was being trained by some people that had those habits, and so I was learning some of the wrong habits at this mortgage company. But eventually I realized, no, that's not where it's at.
No. But so again, what I teach them is a lifestyle. And that's why I believe also you have this. It's a lifestyle, you know. Yeah, here's when you play. Here's when you rest. Here's when you kick ass and work. And you don't mix them up. Okay? So self-care is
Clear
huge.
separation.
Clear separation. So when you vacation, you vacation. When you work, you work. So you're not feeling guilty on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, because if you do your very best when it's work time, and you have systems in place, structure in place, help in place, and you work really well, and you kick ass Monday to Saturday, Sunday, you can give yourself permission to really be present, your family, have fun, or go on vacation. I tell my clients all the time, I want you to have a whole bunch of vacation. Here's the recipe. You want a recipe? 1 long weekend per month, 3 days off per month. Why? Because when you're taking time off, everything happens. The heart lead becomes super hot.
You want to get busy, take a vacation.
Yeah. So three days off, a long weekend. 1 day off every month, 1 long weekend every quarter, and 2 vacations of 12 days minimum per year. You recuperate, you rest like an athlete. So when you play, when you work, you really are high peak performer, not okay or average or just good. And you put the structure in place. So my clients, they have a morning routine, you know, self-care. They meditate as long as they can. Some have to do guided meditation because they have not trained their brain yet. They have gratitude journal. They exercise. So they take care of their body, mind, and soul so they can have the strength and the power to take care of real estate because it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Isn't it true?
Absolutely.
Simple,
And
not
especially, I mean, I've spent a lot of time building my day, and to now it's pretty routine, and I've got all the stuff that you just mentioned in place. But one of the things I tell a lot of new agents here in the company and stuff is that exactly what you were talking about, but just on a micro level, on a given day, you know, we train our clients on what to expect from us and how to talk to us.
Yeah,
and so if we stop what we're doing and answer the phone every single time it rings, like when does that stop? You know, and so I've tried to tell a lot of folks, like, you can knock off at 6 o'clock, and unless a deal is going to come together or fall apart that evening, it can wait till 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. the next morning. Like, and the more that you let a voicemail sit until the next morning, the more they realize, oh, this person has a life too.
Yeah.
They have a family or a significant other or dinner plans. Who cares what it is? Like, you're not on 100% of the time. But most agents think that we have to be.
Yeah. Again, it's lack of knowledge and lack of awareness. One of the questions, I'm so glad you brought that up, and you're so right. One of the questions that I get all the time is, Coach, some of them have no money, no business, and no life. And some of them have money and business, but no life, right? So how can I have some more balance? The number one thing is set your priorities. Set your standards. Set your standard. Here's my minimum standard. After 8 o'clock, I don't look at business email. I don't answer phone calls. I don't text anybody. 8 o'clock or 7:30, even better, 7:30, my mental office is closed. Okay, Sunday or 1 day a week, I take time off, no matter what. Oh, I'm brand new, maybe just half day for this week. You decide, but set your personal standards, stick to it, create the boundaries, because if you don't have a standard, everything looks like opportunity, and you're never going to have a life. One of my clients just told me that she went on a vacation to Lake Tahoe, 2 couples, both girls, real estate agents. She's my client, so she has standards. She knows her boundary. She has boots on the ground.
She probably enjoyed her vacation.
She had boots on the ground, people covering for her. She knows all the strategy. She has systems, have everything. She's enjoying her vacation in Tahoe. The other lady, who's successful, but no standards, no boundary, was on the phone all the time, to a point that her husband was fighting her, pissed off, because, she's not present. She's over there on the phone, working. She disturbed also her friend and messes everybody's energy. So again, you can be smart, experienced, knowledge, winning in money, but you can know life because you have no boundary, no standard, and you're just working. And you know what? You're a slave. You're not a business person because you don't have time off. And you don't even have a job because people who have a job, they have 2 weeks off per year. So you
Weekends
don't have
off.
a
Weekends
job,
too,
you don't
yeah.
have a business.
Clock
weekend,
in, clock
there
out.
You're a slave. But it's because you decided to do it because you're not respecting yourself or everybody else or your lack of knowledge.
Or a scarcity mindset.
Oh,
I have to do
huge.
this.
Oh, if I
Otherwise,
don't do it, they're not going to love me. And you know what? What you said is so cool. I tell my clients all the time. Top producers call back. They return calls. Because first of all, now, if you don't return calls, now it's up to you. I know the speed to the lead is huge, but if you have someone doing the speed to the lead to you, and if it's your client, let them leave a message, whatever drama, let them actually vent and relax a little bit and get your time to prepare yourself and to call back. Get your phone out of the dining room table or the diner table. Be present with your kids. You know, when I started making some money, I had housekeepers. I hired a chef, J.C. Spencer, when you start making, I was pushing $1.5 million per year, okay? With 2 kids and a husband and the life that I wanted. So I said, you know what? I like good food. I like quality food, and I want to spend time with my kids. My husband's already helped me with the bookkeeping, with the management of the money, with the kids and everything. So we went to the culinary school in the town, and we went to the last year of culinary school, and we made an offer to this young girl who needed to practice. I said, look, I have an offer for you that you cannot refuse. You watch The Godfather? My team loved me because I always use stuff with the movies. I said, I have an offer for you cannot refuse. I said, this is what I want you to do. Would you like to learn? Would you like to practice more your skills and also make some money in your last year of school? She said, please. I said, look, you come to my house Monday to Thursday. Friday's pizza for my kids. Their kids are like 8, 9 years old now. 7, 8, 9 years old. I was already making a lot of money, top agent. I said, you come, you make the dinner fresh. Salad every day, fresh vegetable every day, a protein, a starch. So you come at 3 o'clock, you prepare the dinner, 6:30 dinner on the table. You clean the table, clean the house, 7 o'clock you go home. I'll pay you. So you come Monday to Thursday, and I'll pay you this. Are you in? She said, oh, my God, I'm in. So I had a chef.
that's amazing.
She cooked for us. So, again, she cooked for us. I'm not doing that. in an hour, 10 minutes on the phone, I can talk to 8 to 10 people. I can set 1 or 2 appointments. I can set 1 home. So I'm worth it. My commission
Your time
check
is worth so
per
much
hour.
more.
And I give someone a job. I share the wealth. I help somebody. And I am, instead of cleaning my bathroom or doing my kitchen, when I go home, so I will go home, sit down with my kids, have quality time, beautiful dinner, have time. And sometimes I'll go back to work a little more, list another home, and come back and spend time with them. Right?
Abundance mindset.
Abundance mindset.
Scarcity.
And also preparation, instruction. Anyway, sounds like we're repeating ourselves, but
Yeah.
it's not true. That is, it's a mindset, and there's some structure, some standards and boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, this has been amazing. It's such a different conversation than a lot of them we have that are just very like one skill oriented, and this is this lifestyle that you choose to live.
It's holistic.
It's holistic.
holistic.
Exactly. So if first question, one, are you taking on new clients right
yes.
now? Okay.
We love it. Actually, I just opened a space for three hungry, ambitious team leaders or agents that really want to grow really fast, massive breakthrough for one-on-one. But what I really have a lot of room and grows immensely is my VIP coaching group.
So that was going to be my second question. Who are you looking for? Because coaching can be for everybody, but you have to be in the right mindset to take it. So who are you looking for in that coaching?
Oh, that's a great question. So many people ask, who makes someone ready? Yeah, they have to be hungry. If they're hungry, the why is compelling. They want to win. They want to succeed. They want to make the husband or the wife or the kids proud. They will do it. And by the way, hunger has nothing to do with money. I can have a lot of money. I'm pretty well off. I'm pretty well, and I'm always hungry. I want to grow, I want to improve. I want to help more people. I want to have more clients. I'm hungry. If someone can be broke, 2 kids broke, and not be hungry, be very complacent. So hunger is a desire.
That's the overwhelming majority, I think.
Hunger is a desire. So it has nothing to do with your state, if you have money or not. So if they're hungry, they will be committed, and if they're willing to do the work, they're ready, they'll do it. Yeah, because it doesn't matter how much you want to see. I can take them to the water, but if they don't drink, I
Right.
can't.
They don't drink.
I tell them all the time, hey, listen, I promise you something. I guarantee you something. I will help you to set appointments right away. And then when you set appointment, if you have 10 appointments a month, you set one even by accident, even with poor skills. I help you to right away to start converting, set an appointment. So I help you how to lead generate. So I can guarantee you that. When you come to me, immediately you're going to grow because you're going to learn how to set appointments and convert this appointment. But here's the guarantee too. If you do even 40%, even 40, not 50, not 70%, nobody does 100% what the coach says. Well, I know that. But even if you do 40 to 45%, 40 to 45%, what I ask you to do is show you how, because I give you clear, specific direction. You make so much money, your eyes going to roll. And you're going to have a life because I'm going to show you the best way to have a life as well. So that's the guarantee. But you got to be hungry. You got to be ready. You got to want it because otherwise they don't do anything. I can tell. I had people go. I said, darling, that seems to me like you're not ready.
Yeah.
Because I'm giving you the skills. I'm giving everything. If you don't take action, nothing happens. But because I know how to transform the mind. I know how to ignite them. And I tell you right away, when you go to any other companies and you like the main guy, like of the top coaches company, you don't get them. But when you come to me, to one-on-one or my VIP group coaching, you get me. So you really get the direction, the coaching, the guidance, the encouragement, the support, and all the strategies direct with me. So you have 3 hours of coaching per week, live on Zoom with me and my team. Everything's recorded. You get my courses. You get the community. Oh, it's fantastic.
And so if somebody truly feels that they're at that point where they're hungry, they're willing to do the work, what is the best way? Your website, Instagram.
I love it.
If they're ready for it, where do they go?
If you want a massive growth or also break into luxury market, if you want to succeed at high level, I'm your coach. You're going to have the help, the energy, the mindset, all, but I'm here to make you money happy, not rich and miserable or poor and happy, broke and happy, temporary. If you really want to grow immediately, you can email me at vandamartin.com. Vanda Martin. Or you can follow me on Instagram and DM me, Vanda F. Martin at Vanda
We'll
F.
put all
Martin.
the links on that.
Yeah.
And it'll all be on screen and down below. And
I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I just want to leave this message here. Keep learning. Keep learning. Keep surrounding yourself with people like those guys and us because we're going to lift you up. We're going to show the way. Have a mentor. Have a coach who can emulate, someone who has done what you want, who can save you time, show you the way, save you energy, stress, and
I just want to say there's so much to the fact that you've actually done it as well. That's a very big deal. Not every coach has produced in a major way, let alone consistently produced 7 figures. So
you mean all those Instagram coaches that have sold 3 homes and now they have a coaching program?
we will say names, but that's a thing. That's a big thing.
Appreciate
There's a
it.
lot of people trying to just capitalize on the need in the industry, but just having time to sit down and hear your story is encouraging,
it.
especially, and it's validating for what you're doing now.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And also it's customized. Customized.
Yeah.
I am where you are. Like I have people 40 years in the business. I have people brand new in the business. So it's about what you want. It's not what I want. It's not my model. I ask what you want.
Yeah.
And then we customize for you. We are where you are. We help you to understand the process, to fall in love with the process. And again, it's amazing. And can you tell I love it? No one is a number. It's all about building value, and I give, and I lift them up. It's fantastic. And now my students, and even the ones who are not here with me right now, they follow me, they come back. And I feel the way it's like once I taught you life, I'm always going to be your coach. You're part of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you got fantastic energy. And
Thank you.
It seems
Thank you.
like just...
And one more thing you said, a point. I just want to finish this. Not every coach knows how to teach, know how to coach. And not everyone who did it also know how to transfer skills. Transferring skill is a skill. I know a lot of top producers who has sold a lot of homes, but they don't know how to coach the teams. They don't know how to coach others, and they fail because it's not only what to do, it's how to do it, and help them to see and have the shift that to be able to do it. And that's what I believe also is one of my my superpower. Not only I show them a way, I give them the way, encourage them, and I give the strategy, tactics, and all the systems, all SOPs. But I know how to share the way that they want to do it. Make sense?
Yes, even as your second language, you can articulate it
Oh,
well,
thank
and
you.
that's what people need. Is because exactly what you said. You can be a phenomenal producer, but that doesn't mean that you can teach someone else how to do that too.
transfer skill. But
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, thank
for
you
having
so
me
much.
over.
This was great.
Yeah.
I now have to go home and finish the book. I was very close, so I now have to go home and finish that book. And we can't wait to watch this back and just get more inspiration. And for anybody out there that is interested, check the links. There'll be her Instagram, her website. I would urge you to, if you're feeling hungry, think you're ready for that next step, reach out to her. The worst thing that can happen is you get on a call and decide, maybe I'm not as hungry as I thought I was.